Your team needs a Plan B for its first collaborative project in IAH 241D, Ibsen and Society. The key to better teamwork, even if you never use it. Here's a quick question. When was the last time a team project you've been part of went exactly according to plan? Yeah, that's what I thought. So today we'll talk about something that might sound backwards. Why the best teams always have a backup plan in place, even when everything seems like smooth sailing. Look, I get it. You're juggling multiple courses, deadlines are breathing down your neck, and creating a backup plan feels like extra work that you just don't have time for. But here's the thing. Spending just 30 minutes discussing a what-if scenario actually makes your main plan stronger, and today I'll show you exactly how. I'm Professor Schwartz, and welcome back to the Collaborative Café. Welcome to the Collaborative Café, where we brew up innovative approaches to student collaboration and development of 21st century skills. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let's clear the air. A Plan B isn't about expecting failure. It's about setting up your team for success, whatever comes your way. And here are 3 reasons why. First of all, crafting a Plan B makes you think smarter. When you map out potential problems with your teammates, you're not being negative. You're being smart. What happens if someone gets sick at the last minute? What if your main research source falls through? Talking through scenarios like that often shows gaps in your original plan that you can fix before they blow up. Second, a Plan B calms everyone down. Nothing kills teamwork quite like that nagging worry about everything that might go wrong. Having a backup plan is like having insurance. It frees up your brain to focus on doing great work instead of worrying about disasters. Research backs that up. When people feel like they have control and options, their stress drops and their performance goes up. Third, having a proactive Plan B builds skills that employers actually want. Being adaptable and resilient are 2 of the most wanted skills in today's job market. Every time your team thinks through alternatives and backup strategies, you're getting better at problem solving and pivoting when things don't quite work out as planned. That's not just useful for team projects either. It's pretty much essential for any career path you might choose. Now, those 3 reasons alone should convince you that Plan B thinking is worth your time. But here's what most students don't realize. The next 2 benefits I'll share might actually change how you approach not just team projects, but pretty much everything in college and beyond. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you about decision-making and innovation might completely flip your perspective on backup plans. In fact, one of these benefits is so backwards that it sounds almost too good to be true. Welcome back. Let's dive into 2 more reasons that make Plan B thinking vital to your team's efforts. And trust me, the last one will surprise you. Number 4, developing a Plan B makes your learning team decisions way better. Listen, when your team has backup options in mind, you're choosing from a position of strength, not scrambling in panic mode. Think about course registration for a moment. Students who research multiple options ahead of time get the classes they actually want, while procrastinators get stuck with whatever's left at 7 p.m. on a Monday evening. Same thing applies to collaborative projects. When you have thought through alternatives, you can make smarter, more confident decisions instead of just grabbing the first solution that comes along. But here's where things get really interesting, and this might surprise you. Taking the time to craft a plan B can actually spark better ideas. Here's an unexpected plot twist. Your backup plan might end up being better than your original idea. The process of thinking through alternatives often leads to creative breakthroughs that you never would have discovered otherwise. Take Post-it notes, for example. They exist because a scientist was trying to create super strong adhesive and failed by making something repositionable instead. That failure became a billion-dollar product that we now use all the time. The point is, when your team brainstorms what could go wrong and how to fix it, you're opening doors to solutions that might be game changers in your team's collaboration. And even if you never need your plan B, just going through the process of creating it puts your team in a more creative mindset. You've already practiced thinking outside the box, so if challenges pop up, you're ready to handle them creatively instead of freaking out. You're listening to the Collaborative Café, where we brew up innovative approaches to student collaboration and development of 21st century skills. If you find this episode helpful, hit like, share, and subscribe. So what's the bottom line? Well, here's what it all comes down to. Creating a plan B isn't about being paranoid or wasting time, it's about being smart. In 30 minutes or so, your team can pinpoint weak spots in your main plan, reduce everyone's stress, and practice the kind of flexible thinking that employers are actively looking for. Plus, you'll make better decisions from a position of strength and often stumble onto creative solutions you never would have found otherwise. Think of the time spent crafting a plan B as a small investment that pays big dividends whether you actually use the backup plan or not. Your future self and your teammates will thank you for thinking ahead. Here's what you need to do now. Before your next team meeting, spend 30 minutes asking yourself, what are 3 things that might go wrong with our project? Then, bring those scenarios to your team when you meet and brainstorm quick solutions together. That's it. One short conversation that could save your entire project, and maybe even make it better than you originally planned. Try it out and let me know how it goes. Join me next week in the Collaborative Café when we'll look at 4 ways to use artificial intelligence responsibly as part of your work for IAH 241D, Ibsen and Society, as you put the final touches on your first team project. Until then, I'll see you in class, online, or during Zoom office hours if you drop by with a question. In the meantime, stay healthy, have a safe and a productive week. With special regards from Onyx, the cat what am. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for dropping by the Collaborative Café. See you again soon.